What's up, YouTube? It's the real Super Mario, bringing you just my pre-E3 coverage. So all the pre-E3 coverage I'm doing today will be speculations, rumors, and predictions. So this one is going to be my E3 Sony predictions video. So all this video is going to be about Sony and their press conference and what they're going to do in E3. So here we go. Alright, so their conference is going to cover several things. More than likely, they're probably going to touch base with PS3. They're not going to stay there very long. They're going to focus on PS4. So they're going to keep their focus on PS4. They're probably going to trump the fact that they've been winning so far. Kind of rubbing in Microsoft's face a little bit. They tend to do that. Shots fired at E3 is going to happen. But onto the games. So what they're definitely going to talk about is PlayStation 4's lineup this year is pretty light, and they just moved the Order 1886, probably their most anticipated game from this year, to next year. So that means they have to have something planned. There has to be something there if they move their one of their biggest titles for next year. So I think most of the games they talk about in the conference will probably come out this year, this holiday season. So there's going to be a lot of third parties probably there. We'll probably get a Destiny demo there to help pump up the beta that's coming out soon. I think the beta comes out in like June, sometime at the end of this month. There'll also be The Last Guardian. I think The Last Guardian is a PlayStation 4 title. That's why it got delayed a bunch of times. I think it's on PS4. I think that's going to come out before the end of the year. And that's one of the reasons why they moved the order to next year, to get that out of the way of The Last Guardian. So they're going to cannibalize the public. There's also rumors that Guerrilla Games, the makers of Killzone Shadowfall, are working on a big open world title. And they said they've been working on it for about 2.5 years now. So, we could see that. I won't be surprised if that isn't the last thing they show us. We've seen a lot of things. We've already seen a lot of things that could be said at the Sony conference. This one we know the least about. So that's probably going to be like the sting at the end of the conference, right? For one more thing. Look, we have one more thing to show you. And they show you a TV trailer of something awesome, and then they tell you about it and then they end the conference on a high level. They will definitely talk about Project Morpheus, their virtual reality machine. They'll talk about it. They'll probably try to do some sort of base demo, because even though I don't think they'll talk about it too much, because it was already on display on Jimmy Fallon Friday. So usually they don't do too, usually with E3 stuff, they do it after. So after E3, after it's been talked about, they send it to Jimmy Fallon and they'll make it around TV to promote it. This time it was beforehand, so they may talk about it, they may not talk about it. But more than likely they'll talk about it. The thing you have to think about is how much will they talk about it, because how much does it have? We won't get a release date. It's not going to come out until it's ready. So let's see what's next. Okay. Next one for Sony will probably be Project Beast. Project Beast is rumored to be a title. It's a collaboration of Studio Japan and From Software, the makers of Dark Souls and Demon Souls. So, this is probably going to be an exclusive title for PlayStation 4, especially if Studio Japan has anything to do with it, since it is the main Sony Japanese studio. So yeah, it's an exclusive title. Um, next we have see, I told the Last Guardian, Project Beast. Oh, Capcom. Capcom has already said before that deep down is a PlayStation 4 exclusive. I expect to see some more of that game at E3. More of deep down coming to E3. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see that. Because it is a PlayStation 4 exclusive coming from Capcom of all people. And of course, they'll do a big coverage of indie games, independent titles that are coming to PlayStation 4. That's a big thing now. Indie games, because the game industry is moving towards digital. So indie games is a big thing. They're all digital, so that's also big. And last but not least, they'll definitely talk about Uncharted. I'm not going to call it Uncharted 4 because they didn't call it Uncharted 4. They just said Uncharted in the teaser trailer. And I'm going to go over a few things about Uncharted. One, everybody says, oh, this is going to involve Drake. No, Uncharted is not about Drake. Okay? In the teaser trailer, there was a guy who was talking about, Avery, he knocked us, he set us off or whatever. This game centers around Henry Avery. He was a pirate captain, he was a real life pirate captain who escaped, captured and basically pretty much gave up the crew, took the treasure and basically escaped. And this really happened. Nobody knows what happened to Henry Avery. Rumor is that he actually became a landowner in America, with all the treasure that, his crew had stolen from a rich Indian treasure ship. That's the rumor, but many people think that, he went to England and he was still rich. But he was a real person and all this really happened. And in the trailer it talks about this one guy talking about how Henry betrayed him. And this is definitely Henry Avery. And we'll talk about, Madagascar, and we all know that there was a pirate haven around that area. So this is going to be a period piece game. Uncharted is going to take place in pirate times like Assassin's Creed 4, and it's going to involve a different character, possibly Henry Avery himself. Or it's going to involve an ancestor of Sir Francis Drake, who was Drake's ancestor from Uncharted. So something in that line. It's not going to be Drake. It's going to be an ancestor of Drake. And for the end of this video, I'm going to do things that probably aren't going to be uncommon. So here we go. Crash Bandicoot. Alright, I covered Crash Bandicoot in the rumor video, and the reason I put him in this part of this video is because, wouldn't it be awesome? Yes. Has the rumor been around for about a year? Yes. But Sony, platformers, man, they're just not what they used to be. If this was like, 7 or 8 years ago, I would say this totally happened. But platformers are nowhere near what they used to be. And they don't have nearly as much value as they used to be, unless it involves a certain Italian plumber. Next is The Last of Us 2, or a sequel to The Last of Us. That's not gonna come either. One, it's way too early. The Last of Us is barely 365 days old, and it just got a PS4 remake or update or whatever you want to call it. So I'm seriously doubt that the sequel is going to be announced anytime soon. Maybe next year, maybe if Uncharted is out by that time. But I kind of don't think. I'm thinking this is a late 2015 game. So I don't think we're going to get The Last of Us until 2016. So The Last of Us sequel until 2016. Agent. That another one of those ethereal vaporware games that was announced in that nefarious Sony E3 2006 conference. where half of those games didn't come out or haven't come out yet. You know, like The Last Guardian, like Final Fantasy 14, like, you know, Agent. Those games were all announced in the same year and didn't come out yet. So I don't think Agent will be at the show. So this is my prediction, and you know, for Sony 2014, Sony at E3. So just watch out for my next two videos. They're gonna be doing a Microsoft one and a Nintendo. So watch this space. Hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and as always, keep it real with the real Super Mario.